This is another thing that we bought from the spirit of Christmas, of Halloween. And this is a tarot card set. And it was like $5.99. And I was surprised.
But the images are beautiful, though.
Yeah, look at this. Because you got to see
huge
it.
Deck.
So it's a huge deck, but you know, because we bought it for just like to see what the images were like, and then I kind of looked it up a little bit on the internet to see what this meant.
And I think it reads in the back of the box reads something about upper and lower or something like that.
It's 22 major arcana, 56 minor arcana. Arcana are like the houses of the.
All right.
But this one, so I thought it was going to be a very comic-oriented type of deck, because I've seen several different ones, and but they kind of had nice drawings on them, like a lot. This very elaborate type of drawing, like
yeah, the images.
This is the Three
beautiful.
of Pentacles. Look at the dwarf.
The images are really, really beautiful.
This is the Page of Swords. Look at this. This is the Hierophant. But read what it says underneath the Hierophant.
Voodoo Warlock.
Exactly. Now, when do you ever see Warlock like in any of these cards? Never.
No, you don't.
You know, the ones that I've
Normally
seen,
you don't, no.
just they're kind of fun looking and they're kind of interesting Victorian imagery, but because a Warlock is an evil sorcerer,
Right.
it's not a good thing.
Right.
It's not a good card. This one is Baron Samedi.
No, plus this one is actually has a needle in one hand and a doll in the other one.
But that's
and
because
he's
that's-
about to put the
he's-
needle inside the doll.
He's doing a voodoo ritual, basically.
Right.
This one is Baron Samedi, which also comes from Haiti. This is also something about this deck that's just very odd. And that's like, it's almost like it hits like every country under the sun.
So it's an international deck.
I don't think that they meant it to
It's
be
an
an international
inclusive
deck.
deck. Inclusive.
Yeah, it included every magical creature under the
wanted to
planet.
make everybody feel like
So Baron Samedi he's like he communes like between the living and the dead, and then in voodoo they bring him up.
Yes.
In their rituals they bring him
In
up. He's
some
almost
of
like the incarnation of the devil, or,
you see,
and then
it's-
they ask him for
yeah.
things
In some of
in
the
exchange
horror films,
for your soul.
right. In some of the horror films, you actually see characters that are lookalikes.
Baron Samedi.
Yeah.
And in the American Horror Story, they had one of the witches summoning Baron Samedi.
Oh, they did.
Yes, they did. And then she asked him, and then you know, he takes your wish, but the exchange rate is your soul.
Oops.
In this one, he wanted like the exchange of something
I
for
think
all
that
of their
deserves a
souls.
drink. At
Well,
least from me.
Only for Baron Samedi, if he would.
No, for us.
That was a good episode, actually, of American Horror Story. For those of you that'd like to follow that.
It's
Follow
an
a
excellent
television
series.
program.
It's an excellent series.
It's very well
Very
written
great.
and the actors are
Yes,
great.
Absolutely.
The Nine of Wands is Pumpkinhead. This is the Gremlin. But here we go. King of Wands, Hanuman, which is an Indian deity. Then the Eight of, this is the zombie card. This is a Frankenstein card. The Amazon.
Oh, so they
For
do
strength.
include some Halloween characters.
Not really. These are not Halloween. Well, these are from
Maybe
horror.
this is more to give people
But this
ideas
is
of
more
how
like-
to dress up. What do you think?
I don't think that they
No?
use Arcana and these decks for that.
Well,
For
okay,
Halloween
alright.
inspiration.
Halloween inspiration.
These cards are meant to be to read the future and read.
All right.
But it's kind of interesting the imagery that they put in what I thought was a very $5.99 deck. The Necromancer. A Necromancer is someone who talks to the dead.
Oops.
You see,
Get it
it's
away.
like
Take it away.
supposedly, and then Pegasus, which is a card of resurrection, is half horse, half bird. This is Nessie. It's the equivalent of the Loch Ness monster. It's a water card, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go, the Magician. But look at the word, Warlock.
Warlock.
So the Magician for the good one, the Warlock for the evil one, is the same card, mind you. That they would do that duality. The Hermit, they put in a Yeti. Not interesting?
Oh yes.
This is from Greek mythology. This is Judgment, Cerberus. This is the three-headed dog,
Yeah, Cerberus. Cerberus.
Cerberus. He guarded something. He guarded a treasure.
I know he's part of the underworld.
Yes.
Cerberus.
The hangman, it's also the imp. They usually have a man hanging in other arcana. And this one, they depict a devil
Oops.
hanging, which is kind of interesting, this card. The King of Swords is a Viking, and this is the demon. And that's a pretty grotesque demon.
Let me see.
Look at that.
Oops. Oh, he sure is.
The demon is not necessarily a card of
It
evil.
says the devil. No, the devil, demon,
Well, it says devil, but what does it say underneath?
demon.
This is what I'm saying. With card of the devil sometimes just means change, or something new happening, or
Okay.
the death of something old, or the chariot with the sun tower, and this is half man, have horse. The basilisk. It's kind of interesting because this is Grecian also. It's half bird, half dragon. Do you see? And the griffin, which is half bird, half lion. I just want to know.
As in Gryffindor.
I just want to know. You know, because the arcanas are not this complicated. Like what I've seen of those, just out of curiosity, are not this. This is a very complicated deck. Because how much do you have to know in order to be able to use this deck? The mermaid.
Well, I don't know enough. for
Ace of Cups is the whale.
to be able to use that. For sure.
Nine of Cups is the kraken, which is the symbol of death.
Oops.
It's also
Looks like an
aquatic
octopus
symbol.
to me.
And this is Arachne. Interestingly enough, this is from the Pantheon of the Gods. And this is the girl, again, this is a story about a girl who one of the gods loves her. So then Hera turns her into a spider.
Spider.
The first spider woman, by the way.
She has 2 legs, 2 human legs, and and 4.
This is like the other girl.
spider-
This is like the other girl that Hera again punished because he became interested in her son. And what does he do? He turns it into one of 3 Gorgon sisters, also known as Medusa. Right? But this is Arachne. And justice to symbolized by Valkyrie.
Okay.
The High Priestess is the fortune teller. In other words, that's almost like a card for the person reading the.
True. Fortune teller, high priestess.
Because if this card shows up, it means that you've been reading someone's fortune, but it wasn't their fortune you were reading, but rather your own.
Ooh.
Because it symbolizes yourself. In other words, the arcana bounced back and boomerang back to you.
Really?
So what you just read was your fortune. And this is the sun, the phoenix. As you know, the phoenix, it's a symbol of rebirth because it dies with the coming of the sun and arises anew after the birth of a new day. The Queen of Wands is Lilith. Lilith, from Christian mythology, was the first wife of Adam. So she's an evil. This is an evil
becomes
symbol.
evil. Right.
And if you see, Lilith is depicted as a she-demon with serpents, and the serpents are actually her children. Because she could not have normal children with Adam, she had
Oops.
demon children.
Alright.
The Two of Pentacles is the elf, which is one of the magical creatures that's supposed to inhabit the forest. Eight of Cups is the pirate. Page of Cups is the satyr. Knight of Cups, the barbarian. And this is kind of interesting. This is from Mexican mythology. This is Quetzalcoatl. That's he is both good and evil in Mexican mythology of the Aztecs.
So it's the duality again.
It's the duality of good versus evil existing in one. So basically human sacrifice was made to Quetzalcoatl.
And from history, people were actually, they felt that they had been chosen.
Absolutely. They were
as
honored to be
special.
sacrificed.
It was an honor. I'm sure that they were scared, but it was an honor to be chosen to be part of these rituals.
This is from Thailand, the Echidna. Again, half woman, but half kind of a caterpillar-like
a,
creature. I don't know if she
But a bit of a
transmogrifies into some sort of
serpent
butterfly or something. I'm not sure about that. And this is the Queen of Pentacles, which is the Dryad. She's meant to be some sort of a, almost like a tree nymph.
it's like a tree.
It's like a tree nymph. It's the power of the trees. and the mythology of tree magic, symbolized by the dryad. Alien. This is a Cyclops. Sometimes the Cyclops card can come up, according to what I read, if someone is very nearsighted or one-sided. So then the Cyclops card will come up because he only has one eye. So his vision is limited. Here's a ghost. And this card we do not need to appear in any of our readings.
And that is because?
No, we don't need that card.
No, we don't. No.
Brownie. Just take my word for it. Brownie again from the elfin people. Do you see? But also you see the brownies and the elfin people is meant to be work. So it could be in a new job. You see how he's working in the card?
Yes, he is.
So it means that something is coming your way. It's usually linked to money as well. This is kind of interesting. From the Egyptian pantheon of gods, Anubis. I'm telling you, for it to be a spirit putting together these arcanas, that's incredible. They have like hit
Absolutely.
world mythical mythology.
Correct, yeah. And religion.
And magical mythology and religion. And this is Green Teeth, again, part of the elfin people. The Manticore, half human, half lion.
Perfect.
And then this is the Death card. But do you see how it's kind of, it fits many mythologies and many religions actually.
It does.
But death as the conveyor in a boat of, for example, in the Egyptians, that you would, the death were put with coins so that they can pay the rowman, the man that will row them across the river of death to the other side. So if you didn't have the coins, you weren't able to pay him and he did not take you.
So you
This is the emperor.
Where, in limbo?
Basically, you could not cross. You would stay in the world of the dead,
Oops.
unable to move on.
You think some of those people are still here? Staying here? They have stayed here?
Why would you ask me that question?
I don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough coins. I have no idea.
Okay, that's like,
Just a
no.
Okay.
Oh my God, no. Okay, this is the Sphinx, the Emperor. This is a unicorn. So that comes out with people that have like extra gifts or extra sensory perception, that sort of stuff.
Okay, so it's magic.
So that card is
like
it's a magical creature. So this is a ghoul. So this again sometimes depicts the power of evil surrounding you, or maybe someone who wants to do you harm. The ghoul card can appear. And this is a gorgon that we talked about in this. Here, this headdress there is meant to symbolize the head of the gorgon.
With serpents, right?
Yeah, because she had serpents, she was cursed. Because she was a beautiful woman in life. But then Hera cursed her so that her son would lose interest in her. So made her, she stayed half woman but half serpent. But then so that no one could approach her, neither man nor woman could come near her, so that she would spend her life in solitary confinement, made all of her hair be these snakes. But there weren't just snakes. There were snakes that when they looked at people, they turned to stone.
Right.
And remember that she cursed 3 women because there were 3 gorgons. And Hercules killed 2 of them. 5 of Swords is the angel. This is a harpy. This is a 6 of Swords. You see all the sword cards? All kind of depict evil entities within the swords. Temperance is the sea nymph, and that's one of the water cards. And what you see is like in the arcana sometimes reveal this type of dichotomy of earth, waters, air, and fire.
Right. Right. Just
Which is
like
part of the horoscope,
right.
which is part of the it's part of Wiccan mythology.
Right, right.
7 of Swords is a cannibal. This is Mandragora. So this is supposed to be a plant that's actually exists in the real world.
Mandrake.
Mandrake.
Root.
But it's known as its olden name in medieval times. It's known as Mandragora. So, do me a favor. Do not plant
grow.
this.
Do not grow that here. No. No.
No.
If I see
'Cause
that growing here,
I don't
I
wanna
will pick
know.
it up and get rid of it.
Right, so we cannot plant mandrake back there
Correct.
because this looks like a human.
It does. That's what they.
So
that's I have
what
read.
type of a thing would grow back there?
No, no, no.
I don't even want to know.
No.
So no, that cannot be planted here. But this is supposed to be used in magical elixirs. The root itself. So people would plant it in their garden, in their medieval gardens, and then they would dig it up.
No, not me.
It is said that when they would cut the mandrake root by the light of the moon, it would scream. The mandrake would scream.
Oh my God.
It's only supposed to be harvested, planted during a full moon week, which comes once a month. This is the orc, evil genie. This is the Inquisitor card. It means just bad things can come your way, so you have to watch out. This is a warrior, leprechaun, dragon, kind of self-explanatory. This is the Fool card. The Fool is not necessarily what it portrays. Sometimes the Fool are other people. And this card may appear if you are surrounded by other fools. And you yourself are not the Fool. But it doesn't really go back to you. This is from India.
So it doesn't necessarily reflect the individual.
It doesn't reflect the individual. This
Could
is
be the
India.
surroundings.
Kali. Again, the face of evil and goodness rolled into one. This is Ouroboros, which also forms the infinity symbol when turned this way. See? Ouroboros,
Yes.
when you go like
Correct.
this,
Correct.
infinity symbol. So that means, it can mean many things. I read that it can mean things like good fortune would follow you and it'll go on and on and on, so therefore infinity. Ouroboros.
So it's associated with positive.
It's associated with positive, but like everything in the arcane, lower and upper arcana can be associated with challenges that are coming your way.
Okay.
So it depends what other cards came before and what else comes after.
After. Okay.
So that's Ouroboros. This is the gargoyle. The salamander usually means change, something new is gonna be coming into your life.
All right.
The minotaur for strength. The jinn. This is the old concept of the genie, like Aladdin.
Right. Right.
Except that in the world of magic and in the world of the arcana, a jinn is an evil creature. Because even though it will grant you wishes, each wish gets you closer to your death.
Oops.
So that's the jinn. And that's part of the Arab pantheon. And this is the lovers. But this card is the succubus.
It is.
So the difference of the succubus is that this is a female demon that drains men of energy. And then the opposite of this, I think I read, is the incubus. It's the incubus, it's a male demon that robs females of energy. And this is the witch card. So if anybody
Maybe
gets...
they should use that for the lover card. What a strange...
Because again,
interpretation.
love it has the duality. That love can be good, but love can have its dark side.
True.
So therefore, even though it's the lovers, it can be the succubus. In fact, these cards can be read this way, and if they appear this way, it's not a succubus, it's an incubus. If it's this way.
Oh.
So it depends how, because when the person, whoever's doing the reading shuffles, these can be upside down. So you just have to know, this is what I'm saying, who would be using this for interpretation? Because you have to know a lot about these.
It's Halloween. It's a game. That's how people look at it.
Yeah, right. Okay. And this is the witch card.
Oh, that's a pretty witch.
Well, yes, it is. It's a very pretty witch.
Yes.
It looks almost like from the show Bewitched,
Yes.
right?
Looks like a friendly witch. Yeah. Nothing menacing about her.
No. And there she's reading and doing spells and putting things into her cauldron. Right? So supposedly this card, if someone is reading it, not only do they have ability to foretell the future, utilizing this is considered to be some sort of an instrument, but also they have witchcraft powers, but they just don't know it.
Oh.
This is the mummy card, and this is for people that are asleep. They haven't reached their full potential, then this mummy card comes up.
I see.
That you're bound up in, and you're not fulfilling your potential.
Okay.
The chimera is an animal that changes the way it looks. Chimera. The tooth fairy, which again can be good or an evil card. The golem from Jewish pantheon.
Ooh.
So the golem is actually a creature created from dirt, and reanimated via spell of magic. And this is utilizing the Jewish magic. I can't think of the name now, but it's like people that study that, and then Madonna was studying that. I can't remember the name of it right now. But the golem is part of that higher level magic. The werewolf, the shaman, which we see in every culture. No, it's not. No, the fairy. And finally, the last card, which is Leviathan. And this is meant to portray something wicked this way comes.
And it says 10 of Cups.
And it's the 10 of Cups, but Leviathan itself, it's meant to portray something catastrophic. Usually this card appears when hurricanes are about to hit.
Oops.
Things of that nature, something cyclones, downpours, floods.
Oh, okay.
So that's Leviathan, something that is earth-shattering. It is said that this card will appear only once. If this card conjoins with the demon card and with another one, they are Kali, that it presages the end of the world.
Oops. Don't want that trio to
So
show
that's
up in one hand.
No, I don't think so.
In one reading. No,
So as you're
do.
saying, for it to be a $5.99 kind of deck from
beautiful.
Spirit, I thought that it was incredible. The imagery that it has is really interesting.
And they give a lot, and it's really, really beautiful. The imagery is really beautiful. It really is.
But who can interpret this? Who can use this proficiently? When this looks just like a humongous amount of information to work with. Because the reader has to incorporate all of that information
True.
as they do their reading.
True.
And I'm sure that there are people who are able to do it, but I'm sure those are far and few between.
That's true.
So having said that, he hasn't moved from there, so it's good.
No.
No movement is good movement in this house.
No movement is a good thing in this house. Yes.
I just
good
want
omen.
I just want to remind you, no mandragora in the backyard, okay?
Okay.
No
sure.
mandragora. No. So we want to thank you for joining us in this Halloween cocktails.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. And let's do one for the road
This is to you and to us.
and to us.
So happy Halloween, and it may be a magical day for you.
Absolutely.
Salud.
Take care.